Guten Morgen, muchachos, from guess where? Top of the goddamn table. Yes, you guessed that right. If you guessed that, correct. Top of the goddamn table. And sisi kama ndovu hatutoki. Juu bado ndovu ni kuu. Na hatutoki. In fact, now I think we'll be dancing on top of the tree. Ushaisikia ndovu ina dance jumpty? This is the first one. Sisi. And then like I told you, the views on top of here, $1 million views, bro. $1 million views. Fantastic. Can see almost everyone. Of course, anybody below number 10, simuoni huyo, sitaki kuanguka. You know, it's very high up here. I don't fall down like uko kwa doldrums bottom half. That includes the like of Akina Chelsea and the likes. So yes, of course, this is an action-packed lowdown because, of course, there was a lot of action happening this weekend. We had 2 days of Wrestlemania. We had, of course, the Australian Grand Prix. We had, speaking of Formula 1, by the way, have you checked our new F1 segment? It's called The Pitboard. It's doing very well. I'm fucking loving it. Go check it out on our YouTube channel. We also had, of course, some very good games happening. A good game happening in Serie A. We had a very good game happening in Ligue 1 or AN. And, of course, the Premier League, needless to say. So, let's get down to it. Let's start off with the early kickoff. And don't forget, there's a saying that happens in Kenya that says, Ogopa early kickoff. Be afraid of the early kickoff. Guess who coined that phrase? Yes, Liverpool fans, or rather Liverpool fan. And boy, yes, wameogopa early kickoff free season. I think like all the games Liverpool have played this season, the early kickoff, L. Straight. Liverpool say wanna live up to their first letter. Wanna live up to the first letter in their wording, so in their name, L. Early kickoff to hivi, L. Early kickoff, L. Early kickoff, L. Ikwe ni Bournemouth, ikwe ni Man City, ikwe sijui ni nani, L. You got to love it, man. So that game was kicking off at 2:30 p.m. Don't forget, the clocks have changed now. So we're doing 2:30 onwards. We're not doing 3:30 till the end of the season, till October. This year, we're doing 2:30 p.m.s. The 11 p.m.s are now 10 p.m.s. The 6:30 kickoffs, the 7:30 kickoffs on Sunday are now 6:30. The 8:30 late kickoffs on Saturday are now 7:30. All right, early kickoff, Liverpool, Man City. I was telling Big Willie, if at all you have to lose, because I was rooting for Liverpool, if at all you have to take an L, please don't make it a huge L. Msipigwe kama venye mulipiga Man United bana. Sawa? Kama unakula L, ni settle 1-0, 2-1, vitu kaito 3-2. Hatutaki mjenge goal difference ya Manchester City, lakini Liverpool ni nani? Aya, tu hii season na waski shit. They got dropped 4-1. They pleased to deceive. Walitucheza April Fool's Day na bao ya kwanza sijui Mo Salah sijui nani. I was thinking, yes, Liverpool. This is what I'm talking about. Yeah, I guess I spoke too soon. 4-1 L for Liverpool. Of course, I think that took them back to, is it number 7 or whatever. Na uko chini uko kwenye siwezi fikia nikiwa number 1. And of course, Manchester City, of course, good win for them just to keep abreast of Arsenal. And boy, man, at some point in time when it was 353rd minute, I was thinking, oh my God, Liverpool, what the fuck? Sasa mnataka kurudisha mkono. Juu mlipiga timu ya Manchester bao 7, sasa mnataka kupea timu nyingine ya Manchester bao 7. Anyway, 4-0 loss by Liverpool. Some of those goals considered were very cheap in my opinion. Because the third goal, yenye ni Gundogan alifunga ama ni nani? Van Dijk literally saw the ball passing and he did not even move his foot. I'm like, dude, kwani umekelea bet ama? Ilikuwa inakaa matasi Patrick against Iran last week for Kenya. I mean, what the fuck? Cheap ass goal. And I hope you saw there was a video that BR Football did on Liverpool, man. You should check it out. It's hilarious. So, early kickoff, 4-0, and then you had a lot of games being played at 5 p.m. These were huge games. Had heavy repercussions on top and bottom of the table, because on top, Arsenal are playing against Leeds United, and Leeds United, they don't know how to lead. They don't know how to lead. So you actually give them 2 options as Arsenal, Plata or Plomo. All right? And as fate would have it, they chose Plata. They did not choose Plomo. Yeah, they should have taken the money. Because, boy, we did spray them with a lot of goals, you know. 4-1 win for Arsenal. And there's nothing to talk big about Arsenal nowadays. As in, nimezoea kuongea vitu nzuri about us winning. It's always about Arsenal winning. Nothing is changing. You know, Leeds started well, but I've got to give it to them. But, of course, they could not hold it down, as always. The only issue about that game is the fact that they did not keep a clean sheet. Peke yake. Ben White scored Benny Blanco, the one they said, 50 million for waste. There was one dude called Ligana talking smack about Arsenal, and he's an Arsenal fan. Full of crap, that guy. Who else scored in that game? Granit Xhaka scored. Fantastic assist by Odegaard. And Jesus came back. Jesus returned just before he crucified his ass. next weekend. As in, wow, you can't make this shit up, man. On a Palm Sunday, of course, Saturday was preceding Sunday. But yeah, it was good to see Jesus back, scoring a brace, by the way. The penalty, by the way, what Odegaard did, Odegaard has that knack nowadays. This is the second time I've seen him do that. When you have a penalty and you're thinking, this is Saka, so you want to play mind games with him, Odegaard just picks the ball and you're thinking, okay, the captain who's taking this. And it actually turns out he's not the one who's taking it. So like yesterday, I was out on Saturday, I was thinking, all right, so Odegaard niya napiga penalty. Okay, sawa. Only to see Jesus taking it. Like, what the hell? It's very nice of Odegaard, but they're doing some proper shielding of our players from the rivals' mind games. We don't want that. So Jesus converted the pen, and then, of course, he scored a second goal, assisted by, guess who? Trossard. Trossard has 9 assists this season. 7 of them have come at Arsenal. I'm like, God damn. For context, Bruno Fernandes has 6 assists for Man United all season. All season. Less than what Trossard has for Arsenal this season. And Trossard, by the way, joined Arsenal in January. Just so we're clear. Trossard is only second to Saka in assists in the Premier League at Arsenal. Man, that signing is a Midas touch. That was brilliant by Arteta and co and Kinaidu and everything else. So Arsenal 4-1, of course, to take the gap to 8 points above Manchester City. Of course, Man City have a game in hand. So yeah, there was that. And then the games being played. The other games at 5 p.m. Bournemouth versus Fulham. Big game because Bournemouth are in the relegation battle. This is not a battle, by the way. This is war. Relegation this time around is war. It has 8 teams in it. This is war. This is not a battle. So Bournemouth versus Fulham. I was thinking Fulham, of course, will beat Bournemouth. Bournemouth, Bournemouth had other ideas. Tavernier came back, scored a golazo. Beautiful goal. And of course, Solanke made it 2-1 for Fulham. For Bournemouth, big win for them. I think took them to, is it 16th or 15th there. Relegation Ikubai around here. There was another game between Crystal Palace and Leicester City. Yeah, Crystal Palace first time being coached again by Roy Hodgson. The old geezer is back at Selhurst Park, and his first game in charge, he gave them a win to make them stay at 12th. It's crazy. It's like Fulham. It's like Chelsea. You see, Chelsea were winning and winning and winning, and they were just moving from 10th to 10th to 10th. Crystal Palace were not winning, and were not winning, but they were dropping from 12th to 12th to 12th. Insane. Now, of course, they are 12th again. Courtesy of the win that they got against Leicester City. Crazy shit, man, happening at Leicester. I don't understand how they lost that game, to be honest. Well, of course, the winning goal was scored in the 94th minute by Mateta, but damn. And out of that result, Brendan Rodgers fired, becoming the 11th manager to be fired this season. That must be some sort of record. I don't recall the last time there were so many managers fired in one season. And there was another one that was about to drop. So, Crystal Palace 2-1 win against Leicester, big. We also had the big game between Brighton and Brentford. This one was action-packed and then some end-to-end. 6 goals in total, a proper thriller. Mitoma again scoring a goal, beautiful goal. Ivan Toney on the score sheet. Mabao Kibao. Another game being played at that point in time was between Nottingham Forest and Wolves. Nottingham Forest, apparently Steve Cooper is under scrutiny. He might just be fired if they don't perform better than they are. Well, I think they are now, 13th in the Premier League standing. So, not that bad. They are not in the relegation zone, but they're in the relegation war. Yes. Because hapo ukislipa vibaya kidogo tu hivi, you are done. Drew against Wolves. Podence with the equalizer for Wolves, and then he spit on someone. And somehow, he did not get red carded. How? As in, anyway, not so many VR dramas this weekend, but there was that one. Then, of course, the late kickoff. We had Chelsea, the mighty Chelsea, the big spenders, the Todd Bowley boys, Butler boys, up against Aston Villa at Stamford Bridge. Stamford Bridge, squeezy, you can just walk in and get out with 3 points. Uko chini, uko juu. Chelsea don't discriminate. They just open wide and give you all the 3 points. That's exactly what they did to Aston Villa. Now, Aston Villa were 11 points with Chelsea. And of course, the one who was going to win here, of course, was going to go above the other. Now, Chelsea, like I said, they had not been losing, yeah? There's a trend, a patch they had where they had like 3 wins in a row in the Premier League and thinking, okay, are they back now? Turns out they were not. Yes, 2-0 loss against Aston Villa took them to bottom half of the goddamn table. Team yenye spent, is it 350 million in January? Wako bottom half of the Premier League standings. Oh, you love to fucking see it. Out of that, Graham Potter, kaput. Now, that one did not make me very happy. I'm a big fan of Graham Potter. We said somewhere in the podcast, he must be protected. Well, he's no longer there. And what what really doesn't make me happy about the firing is the fact that they might get Nagelsmann. Now, I like Nagelsmann. He's a good manager. I like him. I like outliers. He's very young. He's done big. Imagine what are the odds him getting hired at Chelsea, and he somehow squeezes Chelsea all the way to the final, and he somehow meets Bayern Munich in the Champions League final, Thomas Tuchel, and then he somehow beats him. Sijui tutaenda wapi. Aki, Chelsea fans watatumaliza. Aki ya nani? Straight down, they will finish us. So, I mean, I don't know who they are going to get. Nagelsmann most likely might be the guy Chelsea are going to go for. But let's wait and see. Graham Potter is no longer man, but he was doing terribly at Chelsea. Oh my God. He must have had like the worst stint at Chelsea. I mean, I can almost count the number of games he won. I don't think there are more than 5. Akianani, a lot of L's down there. You ametoka on a bag of L's and a bag of cash. Because, yeah, I'm sure Chelsea will pay him good one. Because I think they paid £60 million to get him. And now, I think I don't know if they give him a 5-year contract. He has not even finished a year. Yes, they'll definitely part with a lot of money. Todd Bowley again has done their thing. Got to love Chelsea. Yeah, taking L's everywhere. Financially, kwa kiwanja. They don't discriminate. Cooler L's. Yeah, so they lost against Aston Villa. Took them to the bottom half, just above Crystal Palace. Then on Sunday, we had, of course, 2 games in play. Another big game with heavy repercussions uko chini. West Ham up against Southampton. Southampton are rooted at the bottom. Yes, they have played more games than the team that is above them. And they have, is it 5 points below them? Amani 3, Amani Ngapi. I think 3 points. It's crazy. So West Ham won that game 1-0. Took them all the way. Is it to 14th? Ama 13th, the Premier League standings. It's crazy. Uko chini kubaya by the way. 1 win and you go all the way up. 1 loss and boom. You are almost number 18. That's what happened to Leicester City. Then, of course, after that, we had the revenge of the Magpies, the Geordies, up against Manchester United. And I told 2 people. I told Samiro in his video that Man United are going to be baptized by the Magpies. I also mentioned Jana Kwa studio, on Saturday, and the kickoff. Man United will get clapped. Revenge is coming for the Magpies. And boy, did it come. 2-0 win for Newcastle United. Absolutely loved it. We all now know who's the best Bruno in the Premier League. Yes, the best Portuguese in the Premier League. The 3rd best Portuguese in the Premier League. Because the first one, I would have to give it to Bernardo Silva. The 2nd best Portuguese in the Premier League, Fabio Vieira. The 3rd best Portuguese in the Premier League is Bruno Guimaraes. No, wait. Guimaraes is Brazilian. Yeah. That one did not work like I thought. Yeah, so the best Bruno in the Premier League is, of course, not Bruno Fernandes. Yes, it's Bruno Guimaraes. Newcastle United winning 2-0, making Man United drop from 3rd to 4th, of which, by the time today we are done with today, Man United might be outside the top 4. Yani, hii ni raha. Yani, I know as an Arsenal fan, I've been cruising, but this weekend, special. Arsenal kwanza tukashinda, Chelsea wakakula L, Graham Potter, atakuwa hired juicy. Man United on Sunday, kula L, dropping out the top 3. They might even drop outside the top 4 by the time you're done with the Everton Spurs, because that game is happening tonight. Everton up against Spurs at 10 p.m. So, Man United again, walikula L. Where was Rashford? Nowhere to be seen. Weghorst, Weghorst ni malenge. Oh my God, I love Weghorst. Waki, I wish they signed him permanently. Aki nani. I absolutely love him. McTominay, after kufanya wonders for Scotland, at Man United is where he draws the line. Bruno, of course, always complaining and doing nothing in end product. It's crazy. It's insane. Of course, they has had some very good saves. Newcastle are looking good. Isak is looking very lively. He was quite a thorn in their flesh. So, yes, that was the last game being played on Sunday. Of course, we had, like I said, Formula 1 Australian Grand Prix. Of course, this one, Max Verstappen won. Is there anything less than a Max Verstappen win in all the Grand Prix? It's always him. But Mercedes were back on the podium. We were back on the podium. Lewis Hamilton finishing 2nd above Alonso. And I have a feeling like we are back, Bana. At the qualifiers, we were P2, P3. George Russell and Lewis Hamilton. They, of course, beat Kina Aston Martin, where people are thinking, well, I was thinking Aston Martin might be doing good, but not better than Mercedes, Bana. No. So, of course, Lewis Hamilton finished in the podium number 2. George Russell did not finish. He had a power unit failure. Another Mandem who did well was Checo. Yeah, Sergio Perez Mazid started from 20th. Alimaliza number what? I can't recall the number he did, but he got some points. That was good performance from him. A lot of crashes, a lot of red flags. a lot of stop starts. So it was a crazy Australian Grand Prix, and of course the fact that it was happening, the race was happening at 8 a.m. on Sunday morning. Hey, sangapi tutalala sangapi Saturday ndio tuamke 8 a.m. There was also Wrestlemania happening, of course. Roman Reigns retaining the Universal WWE Championship, but the Bloodline lost the tag team championships. And I was telling Joe Saina, most likely, the tag teams will go, but the Universal Championship will stay, and that's exactly what transpired. Very entertaining Wrestlemania, by the way, happening at SoFi Stadium. Now, Kronke hapo amekula maganji vibaya sana. That was a very good move. You can see why Kronke moved that stadium to Hollywood, maze. Ilikuwa nakaa vizuri bana. If you watch Wrestlemania, man, the aesthetics of that event, bro. Hey, those guys go all out, bana. You have to give it to them. We also had, of course, in Syria, we had Napoli up against Milan, AC Milan, the former champions, or still the champions, versus the incoming champions. And boy, Napoli were clapped and then some. You're thinking, is this the same Napoli we've been watching? I mean, things they used to sing from Kvaratskhelia, we are singing them from from Rafael Leao. Anaitwa Salamakas was doing crazy stuff, bro. Ibrahim Diaz doing some crazy stuff, man. It's crazy. Napoli walipigwa properly 4-0. No response, nothing. Jana wamefunzwa. Kulikuwa kubaya. I don't know. I think that was happening on Saturday. Then, of course, Jana we had PSG up against Lyon. PSG lost before they went to the international break. Came back from the international break, another L. 2 back-to-back L's for them. That's a first. And also, they did not score in those 2 games. It's insane. How a team with Mbappe and Messi does not score baffles me. Makes absolutely no sense to me. But it did happen. It did happen, folks. So that's what's up, man. That has been a fantastic weekend. Action-packed and then some everywhere. There was also some boxing happening. Anthony Joshua was also in action against, is it Franklin or something? I can't recall. I did not pay much attention to that. But that's that. This coming week, of course, you have some Premier League games happening. We have Liverpool up against Chelsea, managerless Chelsea. Oh, did I say Graham Potter was sacked? Yes, I did. Did I say he's the 12th manager to be sacked this season? I don't think I did. 12th manager. 12 managers to be sacked in one season. Again, has to be some sort of a record. So let's see how that pops out. Of course, Spurs up against Everton tonight. Then tomorrow we have some games. I don't know if it's Brighton. Brighton, I think they're in action this week. Man United are also playing against Brentford, if I'm not wrong, most likely on Wednesday, somewhere around there. Liverpool also in action against Chelsea. So very good games happening this midweek. Let's be on the lookout for them. As a result, we shall be doing the Extra Digest podcast. We shall be airing it or publishing it on Friday because we want to see first these games what they shall bring about, because they have some heavy repercussions on top and bottom of the Premier League standings. All right, that's all for now, folks. Have a fantastic week. God bless. I'll catch you on the next one. Don't forget to check out our YouTube channel, check out our Pitboard and also a Pitboard episode of the Formula One, and also, of course, the Extra Digest podcast. Adios.